Once upon a time, I was minding my own business. A simple, lowly YouTuber. It was like any other day in Britain, cold, overcast, and still in f***ing lockdown. So I decided to watch some booktube, where a lovely little tag video popped up by the wonderful Elliot Brooks, which apparently is a unisex name. Her content was great, and I laughed, I smiled, I even shed a tear. The day was going well, until it hit me. I was tagged. I was tagged. Tagged? I was tagged. I had been tagged. The lady of many subs had tagged me. I, a simple peasant. All sorts of anxieties flushed my mind. I'm tagged. I've never done a tag video before. I don't even really understand what it means. It was so unexpected. What the f*** is a tag video? I needed to find out, and so I pondered for a while, thought on what it meant. I decided it was best for me to seek a higher power. On a quest I set off, taking up my blade and bow and the shirt on my back. I travelled to the far reaches of the known world and beyond. I took to the Tolkien Mountains. It was cold. I travelled across wicked desert, exhausted and thirsty. I made my way through thick jungle and camped by fires. I hunted defenceless animals, because that's what manly men do, or some shit. I met tribal leaders and killed them all. I went to the highest heights and the lowest lows, until finally, my journey took me to the land of Sander Crombia. And at the burial shrine of Green Daniel, I asked the Almighty my question. Dear Lord, tell me the truth of the book tag. Tell me what it means. I asked him for an answer in the scroll of TBR's past. Anticipation spren forming around me. I had to find the Lord's message. I unravelled the scroll to gain the knowledge that I'd sought after for so long. It read, "It's just a Q&A video, you twathead." I'm genuinely sorry that you had to see that. I think the best part is the fact that I worked really hard on that intro that is essentially one joke that isn't even that fun. And to top it all off, it's for a tag video. I'm not saying tag videos are derivative, but it's just a tag video. But without further ado, I shall crack on with it. So Elliot Brooks, awesome channel, tagged me in this. It's an anti-TBR tag, so books I don't want to read. Wow, what a twist. It's like a TBR tag, but the opposite. But yeah, I'm going to answer these questions honestly and as best I can. But I think you should all bear in mind, I'm actually not as well read as a lot of the people within the booktube and fantasy booktube circuit, and I intend to be as this channel grows. That's the aim, right? I came onto booktube to find recommendations and I ended up loving it and staying, There's loads of books that I've found out about because of booktubers and booktube channels. So for that, I'm very grateful. I would not have discovered the Stormlight Archive without people like Murthy Napier and Daniel Green. But yes, question number 1. A popular book everyone loves that you have no interest in reading. I'm not sure how popular it is, but most reviews I've seen rave this book. Among the fantasy community, a lot of people really like this book and really like this author. This is actually a book that I DNF'd. I didn't finish this book because it was grating, and that is Red Sister. Honestly, the prose, I just hated the way it was written. I really did. It was grating on me. I barely got far into that at all, and I just had to put it down. I hated it. So I don't plan on continuing to read. So I don't intend on continuing to read Book of the Ancestor. Why would I want to put myself through that? I'm already behind on so much awesome stuff. I haven't even read The Wheel of Time yet. So I don't want to waste time reading books that are grating at my core, peeling my skin off with every word. I really didn't like it. So yeah, I'm not going to be reading Red Sister anytime soon. A classic book or author you don't have an interest in reading. Narnia. I do not care for Narnia. It doesn't interest me at all. I don't have the nostalgia value because I didn't read it as a child. The films are atrocious. Not that that matters, but the point is, I've seen it done badly. I know I'm not going to vibe with the writing style. I can deal with Tolkien's writing style because of the whole aesthetic of Lord of the Rings, but I'm not a big fan of the writing style either, but I can appreciate it for what it is, and it's a classic. But Narnia, I just don't think it's worth the fact. Yeah, it's a classic, but I just don't think it's worth it. So what? It's got Christian world building themes. Yeah, I grew up in a Christian school. I don't care. Like, I don't need to read it. And I know Tolkien doesn't like allegory, but at least the Lord of the Rings has themes about industrialization and change and power. Yeah, I'm just not interested in reading Narnia whatsoever. Oh, this one is going to get some people either disliking or unsubbing. A problematic author whose books you have no interest in reading. I don't even know what this means. I mean, I know it's a big conversation on BookTube, on the internet, in society in general, is should we cancel people that we think are bad or politically incorrect or morally deplorable? I don't even think I know the answer to this. A lot of the time, the things that authors and actors and filmmakers, etc., have done wrong don't necessarily affect me, so it's hard for me to relate. And at the same time, this is gonna sound really bad. I don't care. Like, obviously I care if someone has done something very bad, but I also think bad things are subjective things, and we all apply our own morals to all sorts of things. For example, I don't eat animals. I think it's immoral to eat animals, which means I think it's problematic for someone to eat animals. Am I going to not read a book because the author eats animals? No. And then someone could go, oh yeah, but if the author's been sexist or racist or whatever, that's worse. I'm not going to bring that debate into the video now, but the point is, we all have our own moral framework. We all view things in a very specific way and to varying levels. So I just think separate the art from the artist. Maybe not always. If an author has sexually harassed or assaulted someone, and then they've got a scene that deals with those sort of themes in their book, it might make that scene uncomfortable from there on in, whereas before it didn't, because you didn't associate the scene with the author. It was just part of the story. And I understand that making someone uncomfortable, and I understand people not wanting to read books by authors that have done things that they don't like. But I think it has to be on a case-by-case individual basis, and you have to make that decision yourself. I don't like cancel culture. I think it's unnecessary. I don't care if authors are assholes. I don't want to give them that kind of power over the art that I love. If I enjoy the book, I will read the book. Okay, if the author is that much of a knob, I'll buy their book on eBay. I just think there has to come a point where we draw a line. I mean, everyone in history was a deplorable, problematic person if we hold them up to today's standards. I think if Lovecraft was a bad person, I don't necessarily think that is relevant. I think we can be aware of it and we can learn from it, but it doesn't affect Cthulhu, I don't think. But that's just my 2 cents. I don't know. I'm sure plenty of people have a lot to say about that, you know. This has been an ongoing debate for ages. Next question. An author you have read a couple of books from and have decided their books are not for you. Another controversial one. Oh man, I'm gonna lose everyone that's following me. I have DNF'd Stephen King 3 times now. I really want to like him, but so far I've always been bored. I might try The Shining though, as I haven't actually done that yet. And I love Stephen King movies. Like, Shawshank is literally my favourite film because I'm a complete cliche. But I don't know, Stephen King's writing has bored me quite a few times. I haven't tried some of the best ones though. I haven't read The Dark Tower. I haven't read The Shining. I haven't read It. I haven't read Under the Dome. I haven't read The Stand. But so far, I have been disappointed in Stephen King recommendations. I've DNF'd 3 of his books. I'm not going to say which ones. I'm going to keep you guessing. I don't want to be a complete open box. I want you to revel in the enigma that is me. Of course they start doing the bins while I'm filming a video. A genre you have no interest in, or a genre you tried to get into but couldn't. My girlfriend's big on crime. She loves Agatha Christie. She loves murder mysteries. I tried getting into crime and mystery a few times. I've put down a few Agatha Christie's, but I'm still going to try and get more into crime novels because I actually love whodunits when I watch them. All the Poirot movies and TV shows and stuff, I really enjoy those. I really like whodunits. I think And Then There Were None is one of the best things I've ever seen on telly. The miniseries that had Bern Gorman in it, had Aidan Turner in it, it had Sam O'Neill in it, Charles Dance, and it's brilliant. It's so good. I really do want to get into more crime, but so far I haven't managed to. I know what I like, you know. I do think I should broaden and expand my tastes, but I know what I like, and I know that when I read I get inspired. I don't want to read things that derail my ability to write consistently. I know that's a terrible excuse, but I get excited when I'm reading something I enjoy, and then I take the things out of it that I think are amazing. In terms of inspiration, a book you have bought but will never read. I like buying pretty old books. Sorry if the audio in this video sounds terrible. It seems the industrial vehicles of town wanted to wait until I hit record before they decided to unleash hell. But yeah, I like buying pretty looking old books. They're dusty. I bought this gorgeous one from a charity shop called Frank Redcliffe by Achilles Dawn. I will actually read that, and I have read some of it. The language it's old, it's archaic, but it is beautiful. And look at that cover, oh mate. But I mean, some stuff I do just buy for show, like this leather book called Studies in Poetry. I'm not going to read that, I just thought it looked awesome. The Iliad of Homer. I mean, I might read one of the better translations, but this was just like a cheap one I found in a charity shop. I mean, no, I'm not going to read that. And I'm definitely not going to read this. I bought this because I was being pretentious and I thought it looked cool, but it's really old essays analysing Shakespeare. I can imagine that's a very heavy read, and I do not have the time, the patience, or the mental energy to read that. I like buying books that make me look cultured and intelligent, when in fact I find these books boring because no one's being stabbed by a magical sword. But they're very pretty. The next one is a series you have no interest in reading, or a series you started and have DNF'd. Well, that's the same as Red Sister, right? I've messed this up. Right, same as question 1. Red Sister, Book of the Ancestor. Sorry, I didn't think this through enough. A new release you have no interest in reading. Ready Player 2. Normally I like to make my own mind up about books, and I don't just take people's word for it. And even though Daniel Green's opinion on books I do actually listen to, because I've been watching his content for a while now, I don't always agree with him. I didn't agree with him on Jade City and various other books. You know, people have different tastes, but he ripped into Ready Player 2, and it convinced me not to want to pick it up. I don't want to waste my time reading stuff I'm going to hate, and everything he said, that would have been stuff that annoyed me as well. I don't like unnecessary sequels. If you see the rant I made talking about how franchises and companies just keep making stuff that doesn't need to be made. So I have no interest in Ready Player 2 whatsoever. The first one's fine for me, you know, and that's it. That's the tag video. I hope you were interested in what I had to say. I know I didn't add much to the conversation. I mean, most of the popular stuff I'm interested to read. I don't like to say that I don't want to read something because I don't know if it's good or not. Never say never. Never say never. There's a lot of fantasy books and a lot of just books in general that really interest me. What adult fantasy is doing, I'm liking ensemble casts. That's sort of where I'm at. So, thank you, Elliot, for tagging me. I really appreciate it. And thank you for sharing my skit that I made, because that actually boosted my channel quite a lot, and I really appreciate it. I'm going to tag some people now. I mean, I only speak to like 4 people on BookTube, so I'm gonna tag Ned Flanders and family, Seeking Stories. I'm sorry. I feel like that might have come off mean, but it's only because you're really nice. You're lovely people, okay? I feel like you guys are too positive for such a negative tag. MCMK himself, Michael Nip, I tag you, and I tag Leanne's Library, and I think she'll have a field day with this one. I'm sure you've already got your list planned out, haven't you? Yes, of course you have. Please like, comment and subscribe and turn the notification bells on so you know when I've uploaded. I can only apologise once more for that intro. It was something. Thanks everyone. Till next time. Peace.